You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt. Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster. MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Let's stop acting like we don't see how this game is played. If you tired of folks throwing shade with a smile and keeping you boxed in with that slick behind-the-scenes racism, it's time to upgrade your survival skills. See, Phillip Scott dropped more than just knowledge. He handed you a playbook with passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy. This ain't the in-your-face kind. This is that sneaky, office space, let me block your blessings type of racism that'll have you questioning your own reality. It's time to call it what it is and arm yourself with the facts. But baby, don't stop at just peeping the system. Break those mental chains too. That's why you need 7 steps to decolonize the mind. This is about freeing yourself up top, walking in confidence, and letting the world know your mind is not for rent, lease, or layaway. It's time to reclaim your power step by step. So don't just watch, take action. Click over to Amazon.com, type in passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy and 7 steps to decolonize the mind and secure both books for yourself, your crew, and anybody ready for that mental liberation. La Sherika said it, now go do it. Invest in your freedom. Pick up both books today on Amazon.com. Trust me, your mind will thank you.
After 13 years of exposing lies in the media, I discovered the biggest lie of all. They want you to think racism is random, accidental, just bad people doing bad things. But what if I told you anti-black racism was engineered, programmed like software, marketed like a product, and designed to survive across generations? That's exactly what I prove in my new book, Us versus the Machine, How Anti-Black Racism Was Programmed, Marketed, and Made to Survive. This isn't another book about what racism looks like. This is the blueprint of how it was built, who profits from it, and most importantly, how to dismantle it. I spent years connecting dots that they never wanted connected, following money trails that they thought were buried, exposing the machine that runs on our oppression. Knowledge is power, but strategic knowledge is liberation. Get Us versus the Machine on Amazon today, because once you understand the system, you can beat the system.
If you have not been tuning in before, my goodness, you've missed out on a lot. Broke boy, but with potential. What made you realize this soft life is for me?
I deserve it. Because main money is special. I'm single.
But you don't like to be alone now. I'm looking for a guy to break my heart.
Well, as long as they're Nigerians now.
Watch Slay Queen Nigeria, only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC keeps me informed and him inspired.
We've been through too much to trust mainstream media. This feels like us.
From the D to the diaspora, ADNC is how I stay woke. We binge ADNC like it's Netflix, but smarter.
They speak on us, but never for us. ADNC does.
No fluff. No filters. Just the truth, daily.
From Wall Street to 125th, we're watching our news.
Download the African Diaspora News Channel app today to stay connected to the culture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream this evening. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click that subscribe button since you're coming in here. Make sure you click that like button. That's very, very important. I want to thank everyone who is supporting the African Diaspora News Channel app. And if you're not supporting it, I don't know why, because that's one of the best ways to support our platform. And if you get a monthly subscription, that's like supporting us 31 cents a day. That's not much, right? 31 cents a day. But if you say, man, you know what, I want to support more than that. Okay, then we have, a quarterly subscription, and that's going to go away January 1 because we got to simplify our tiers because we want to go just to a monthly, a annual, and a lifetime. So, if anybody get in that particular quarterly tier before the first of the year, you can actually stay in it and you'll be kind of, I guess the term they use is grandfathered, right? So, but that tier is going away January 1. But thank you for supporting and we greatly appreciate that. 2026 is coming. So we are actively working on, I know we put out a poll about, if anybody, any trips like maybe that people be interested in. I know Nairobi, Kenya was at the top of the list. So we'll look into that because, one thing I said I was going to do is only try to do places that y'all were interested in and places you're not interested in, and not going to fool with it. And I think after that, it was talking about South Africa. But, anytime we do South Africa, we've always been doing the real South Africa. They always put on a great tour for the people as well. So tonight, we're going to talk about New York Attorney General Letitia James. She was indicted, y'all. She was indicted. And we already predicted this back May 7th, 2025, actually. We'll play that video evidence of that prediction of this day happening. So we're going to talk about a few other things with that, definitely with the Democrats and how this is going to turn out, for her, sticking her neck out on the limb for the Democrats, right? So we'll definitely get into that tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad fall is here. I'm glad fall is here. And the reason why I'm so glad fall is here is because I'm ready for my light bill to go down. I like all the everything pumpkin that's coming out, right? Especially the pumpkin creamers for your coffee. I have my decaf coffee, and I definitely like my pumpkin creamer. That's one of the favorite things. So shout out to all the pumpkin fall flavors and all that coming on in. I'm ready for wintertime too. Forget that summertime stuff, man. I can't stand summers no more. I just can't do it. Maybe I can do around 70, 80, but anything more than about 80, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. I don't see how people love the heat. And you got brothers and sisters that live in countries that don't have no AC, and so they live their life with no AC. I'm like, I can't do that. You can call me Black American or American, whatever you want to call me. Y'all, anybody who would know me, know I don't do the heat. I don't do the heat. And let me tell y'all something, when you actually put on some deodorant and stay out all that doggone heat or having your house all hot like that, that's how you don't end up getting musty. Now, you could be in a hot house if you want to as long as you wear deodorant. But, I just don't like hot, sticky environments. I don't like it. Sorry, I just don't. I been want to take a shower so quick. Jane Smith says Black Voltron Reloaded. I heard about that. I never met the gentleman at all. I know he followed me. I actually saw his picture for the first time. I never knew what he looked like. And they say the gentleman passed away. They say he was 55 years old. I actually just read that today. That's what his family has said. I don't know what he passed away with. But I will say this to our brothers. I want to say this to our brothers once again. I don't know his condition or anything, but 55 is way too young to be passing away. We as brothers definitely need to get our checkups. And when the doctor makes definitely suggestions for our personal health, we need to do that. You know, I mean, our body, everybody's body is different. Certain things one could do, another can't do. Prime example, I was with my father today, right? You know, shout out to my dad. It's his birthday. And I told my dad, I say, he can eat all the sweets he want. He can eat whatever he want. And he don't gain no weight at all. At all. I used to be like that till about 35. And then that's when I started dealing with the change. And I'm like, it has frustrated me ever since. Because I used to eat whatever I wanted. I used to eat, man, I think, my mom was telling me, yeah, he'd get up in the middle of the night, eat some ice cream, go to bed. And I say, if I could eat some ice cream in the middle of the night and talking about going to bed, first of all, can't do the dairy because, one, not so much my stomach would hurt at night, probably would, but it would create so much when I'm sleeping, create mucus for me, that dairy. So no, I can never eat food dairy right before going to bed. You know what I'm saying? I can't do bread. Oh, I'm gonna put on 10 pounds. If I go eat a bunch of donuts, I don't even touch it. Donuts is like, if I want to gain weight, just eat donuts. That it all go to my stomach area, right? I don't fool with salt like that because, hey, I don't want my blood pressure going up. I don't be shaking a bunch of sugar on things, right? Because I don't want to be dealing. I'm not diabetic. No, I'm not. But that creates you gaining weight, all that sugar. So it's like I have to be so on point with my diet. I have to be military about my diet, discipline. I have to go to the gym. I have to at least be there 5 times a week, minimum. So I will not put on any pounds. And if I back off from the gym and don't eat right, I will gain weight that quick. It's crazy. But that's my lot in life. And so some of y'all that can eat what y'all want, y'all get on my nerves. Sometimes y'all get on my nerves. Y'all can eat all the cakes and y'all don't gain nothing. Oh, man. Yeah. See, bread, I can't. I gave up bread. I gave it up because I say, look, I want to live, okay? I don't need to be walking around gaining weight. I'm not young. I'm not no spring chicken. I ain't 25 no more. And I want to be here a long while. So I have to make, just the changes I have to make. And it's not like I never had it before, right? So you just got to make changes if you want to be here. That's it, if you want to be here. Now, if you don't want to be here, hey, eat to your heart content. And like my grandpa said, if you want to dig your grave with a spoon, go ahead. That's you. It's your life, your body, your choice. But me, I want to try to be here a lot longer than what I should be, right? All right. Let me tell y'all something about the burning calories and exercising. Let me tell you, I can go lift all kind of weights in the gym. I can go do cardio all day. And if I go right to that kitchen and I go eat some pancakes or whatever, I done messed up my whole workout. I'm telling you from personal experience, it's that kitchen that mess you off. Not so much that gym. It's that kitchen. Leave that rice, that potato, pork, any kind of red meat, processed meat. And if you want cancer, just eat processed meat. Alcohol, that's going to give you cancer. I just saw an oncologist talk about that today. That if you want cancer, keep drinking liquor. Because they said the ethanol in it don't metabolize right and can create 6 different cancers, they say, in your body with time. And then the processed meat, like your hot dogs, your sandwich meats that you buy in the store processed, that's guaranteed to give you a lot of colon cancer and different ones. So I'm like, hey, you ain't got to tell me twice. I don't want them problems. If I can prevent it, I don't need processed meat. Hey, I like hot dogs. I used to be the king of hot dogs. That's okay. I'll give it up. I would give it up. But you say you like that too? Okay, you said that you can't eat anything without putting on pounds? Yeah. It sucks, right? It sucks. You got to fast and you got to keep up with yourself. But, hey, you'll be more healthier than other people. All right. Just because you don't gain weight doesn't mean you can't have a heart attack, okay? Just because you don't gain weight doesn't mean you can't get diabetes. So don't look at a person and say, oh, they in shape. The insides may be full of crap. Arteries may be clogged, right? Yeah, they may not gain weight, but their arteries and stuff is the same. So look at it like God is making sure we stay healthy, or else. All right, y'all, the little rant. Let's go ahead and get with it. Let's go ahead and get with it. Let's get with it. All right. So, Letitia James, let's go back to something I said about her on May 7th, the live stream, 2025. Let me cue this up before we get to the whole thing with Letitia. I've learned about the white supremacists. When they see that a black person has backing, their whole strategy got to change at that point. When they see a black person has no backing, oh, you red meat for the wolves at that point. You complete red meat. I don't know why you black politicians don't think like that. Them Democrats are not going to save you. They're not going to help you. Brandon Johnson in Chicago, he another one. He did all that stuff for immigration. They ain't done with him either. They're going to circle back to him. You watch. They're going to circle back to Brandon Johnson. I see it coming. But let me get to Trump. Your boy Trump. Trump wilding out. Let's get to Trump. Let's see what Trump had to say.
I can say unrelated to that, she's a disaster for New York. She's a horrible, horrible human being. And I think she's a total crook. There's no question about it. But that's just my opinion. Pam's going to have to do what she wants. She's a very bad person. She's a very, very bad person who campaigned solely on, I'm going to get Donald Trump over and over again. She's a sick person. But that has nothing to do with what Pam does. Pam is going to do what's right. She always does. I've known her a long time.
All right. So Pam is he talking about? Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States of America. I just think it'll be any day now for Letitia James be indicted. I think she's going to get indicted. I think she will. I didn't say convicted, but I definitely said indicted. And then after she gets indicted, I want to know if it's going to be Fani Willis or Alvin Bragg. Probably Alvin Bragg, maybe before Fani Willis. I don't know. We'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was just a reminder, and that was May 7th, 2025, okay? So let's go it on and look at, let's see which one I want to look at here. I got two different ones we want to look at. So let's cue this up. Let's see where we at. All right. Where's my button? There we go. All right. Grand jury. Oh, wrong one. Grand jury indicts New York Attorney General Letitia James, a Trump opponent, on bank fraud charges. All right. So that was 5 months ago or so that we said that this is, was possibly going to happen. James, a Democrat, has clashed with President Donald Trump after bringing civil charges against him in New York. So let's say New York Attorney General Letitia James, a Democrat, who has clashed with President Donald Trump, was indicted Thursday by a federal grand jury in Virginia. James was charged with 1 count of bank fraud and 1 count of false statements to a financial institution after Trump publicly called for his Justice Department appointees to bring charges against her. The indictment alleges James falsely claimed that a home in Norfolk, Virginia was her second residence, allowing her to obtain favorable loan terms, and that she rented the property to a family of 3. Of course, James vehemently denied the charges against her. And we'll play that video, so I'm not going to go through all that. It says, as a new NBC News reported in August, Attorney General Pan Bondi appointed a special attorney to probe mortgage fraud allegations against New York Attorney General, who sought a successful civil fraud case against President Donald Trump before he retook the presidency. Let's say the Federal Housing Finance Agency Director Bill Polt had referred the case to the Justice Department, alleging that James had made false statements on mortgage loan applications, but the case hit a standstill last month because federal agents and prosecutors didn't believe they had the evidence to secure a conviction. 2 senior federal law enforcement officials had told the News. It said acting U.S. Attorney Eric Siebert resigned under pressure last month after Trump said he wanted him out. Trump then named one of his personal attorneys, Lindsay Halligan, to be a U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. though she lacked any prosecutorial experience. So she don't know what she's doing. Now, that's not a merit-based position. That's another DEI hire. Now, it's interesting that he can do all the DEI hires he wants, because according to them, you remember what Charlie Kirk talked about? That if he see a black person, then he hope they're qualified because he think they just being let in because they're black. Well, I mean, Trump's people constantly being let in, and what, because they white? What, because they don't have a brain? It's still not merit-based because this woman had no experience, none whatsoever. Now, I say Halligan, as it said in a statement that James' indictment that the charges as alleged in the case represent intentional criminal acts and tremendous breaches of the public's trust. The facts and the law in this case are clear, and we will continue filing them to ensure justice is served. Now, James' attorney, as Abby Lowell, said the case is driven by President Trump's desire for revenge. We all know that. When the president can publicly direct charges to be filed against someone, and when it was reported that career attorneys concluded none were warranted, it marks a serious attack on the rule of law. We will fight these charges in every process allowed under the law. All right, hold on. Let me plug something in here so I don't lose y'all here. Give me a second. Come on. There we go. All right. So they say Trump has repeatedly sought charges against his political enemies, including James and former FBI Director James Comey, who was indicted in September on charges of lying to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding. He said, we can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now, Trump said on Truth Social less than a week before Comey's indictment. In addition to Comey and James, Trump has called for charges against Senator Adam Schiff, a Democrat out of California. I said Halligan presented the case against Comey in the federal grand jury, doing so by herself. In a break from DOJ norms and convincing a majority of the grand jurors that there was probable cause to indict Comey on 2 of the 3 counts she presented, Comey pleaded not guilty Wednesday and plans to challenge Halligan's appointment. Okay, so it said the standard for securing an indictment before a federal grand jury is much lower than securing a unanimous conviction by a jury at trial. I said the Justice Manual, which guides federal prosecutors, says that attorneys for the government should only move forward on a case if they believe the admissible evidence would be enough to obtain a conviction. Okay, so here's the thing. So your boy Trump, he said, you know what? Y'all did it to me, so it's I'm getting y'all back. It's my turn. I can care less, like, forget the presidential norms, forget all that. I'm on a revenge tour, and I got to get at you. Y'all should have put me in jail when you had the chance, because now I'm about to get you. And I warned several times during this time that Letitia James, what she should have did with this case, if she wanted to get at Trump, what you do, and I'm going to repeat what I said, she should have got a special prosecutor and made sure the special prosecutor was an old white man. Now, why would you want to make him an old white man? Well, you want an old white man that's kind of known in New York, and that way your hands are clean. He's doing all the prosecuting. You don't comment on the case. You don't say anything. You say, hey, I'm not even prosecuting that. We have a special prosecutor. He's doing that case, right? Let Trump go at him. Trump going to have certain limits on what he's going to say about him and maybe possibly what to do about him. But when it comes to y'all black folk, they trust me. Yeah, I know he getting at other white folks too, but they'll come. You know how it is in America. They're going to come at you a lot harder. Now, where's the Democrats? Because she was doing all this for the Democrats. Remember? Alvin Bragg, we haven't forgot about you either, Alvin. You've been quiet, sir. You've been very quiet. He ain't forgot about you because you the main one that got him convicted. Oh, you think he forgot about you? Oh, please, Alvin. He looking at you right now to see what he can do about you. You probably going through your taxes, probably going through everything you got going on, Alvin. So Alvin, I know Alvin probably scared right now, like, dog, he indicted Letitia and she attorney general? Oh, hell. He gonna try to get me. It ain't gonna be nothing for him to get me. You know what I'm saying? She is a sitting New York State Attorney General. And he put charges on her while she in office. But Biden put charges on Eric Adams while he was in office. So if you think about it, Biden was the one that started that first. Come on, let's call it what it is. All them charges they put on Trump, you never heard of a president having a charge put on them like that. And I'm not saying every president hasn't done no dirt. George Bush, if anybody, should have got some charges for Iraq. And he didn't get no charges. He's still chilling. So you start this mess with Trump, and he trying to get his revenge. Now, let's play what Letitia James said about this development, y'all. And we're gonna get more into this. Let's go ahead and play it.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system. He is forcing federal law enforcement agencies to do his bidding, all because I did my job as the New York State Attorney General. These charges are baseless, and the president's own public statements make clear that his only goal is political retribution at any cost. The president's actions are a grave violation of our constitutional order and have drawn sharp criticism from members of both parties. His decision to fire a United States attorney who refused to bring charges against me and replace them with someone who is blindly loyal not to the law, but to the president, is antithetical to the bedrock principles of our country. This is the time for leaders on both sides of the aisle to speak out against this blatant perversion of our system of justice. I stand strongly behind my office's litigation against the Trump Organization. We conducted a 2-year investigation based on the facts and evidence, not politics. Judges have upheld the trial court's finding that Donald Trump, his company, and his 2 sons are liable for fraud. I'm a proud woman of faith, and I know that faith and fear cannot share the same space. And so today, I'm not fearful. I'm fearless. And as my faith teaches me, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. We will fight these baseless charges aggressively, and my office will continue to fiercely protect New Yorkers and their rights. And I will continue to do my job.
All right, Letitia. So yeah, that's your statement, and we're gonna get into the charging documents because we got it here, so we can see exactly what she's being charged with verbatim. But here's the thing, y'all black politicians, you haven't learned, haven't you? Fonnie Willis, he ain't forgot about you either, ma'am, in Atlanta. He ain't forgot. Oh, he gonna circle back to you too. He getting all y'all. And the Democrats won't say, listen, the Democrats won't say nothing about what Trump is doing in their own district. So they definitely not coming for y'all. But see, y'all black politicians, y'all will sit up here, y'all was just jumping in front. Y'all let the Democrats tell, yeah, if we win, we'll give you a U.S. attorney job, or we'll give you, maybe we'll give you attorney general, we'll give you some federal judge position. You can just get Trump and let us get in there, right? We might put you on federal court, and that's a job for life. And you actually did all that, because let's call it what it is. These black politicians didn't step out there going after Trump because they want to. Look, white folks put y'all in front because they know how he is. But y'all being dumb instead of being smart. Look, what Trump did about the New York case, I'm talking about the one about the banks and all of that. Man, people don't care about that. He didn't even steal nothing from nobody. He paid the banks back. The banks in the trial say, yeah, he paid. Yeah, he said he got a loan. He paid us back. We ain't got a problem with him. But y'all continue with the case, Letitia, and you did it not because you cared about New York. You did it because you wanted some position that's higher than Attorney General of the state of New York. Alvin Bragg, you did that same thing. Fonnie Willis, you did that same thing. Because all y'all was going to the White House to Biden. That's been proven. All of you. Even Fonny's boo thing, Nathan Wade, he was up there at the White House with Biden. Why did your boo thing go up there, Fonny? Was he promised a job too? Because you hired your man to go prosecute Trump, right? Remember that? And who's to say Nathan Wade they may not come after him too? We don't know. Do not be a crash test dummy for the Democrats, black folk. Because they're not going to stand with you. They're not. Fonny, Nathan, Wade, Alvin Bragg, and definitely Letitia James, they are on their own. All that what the Bible tells you and all that, let me tell you something. If you was actually praying and asking God for wisdom, he would have told you, don't do it. Let a special prosecutor do it. Sometimes you gotta, the 48 laws of power will teach you only fight battles you know you can win. And sometimes you gotta think, okay, yeah, I may win a little battle, but will I win the war? See, when this dude got elected, it was a lot of people got in trouble at that point. And they start trembling, say, well, maybe he'll forget about me. Nah, dude ain't forgot about you. He haven't forgot. So let this be a lesson learned for black politicians. Don't get involved in, let me tell you something about my grandfather said a long time ago. And I've said this many times before. I'm going to repeat this again. My grandfather said, 2 white sheets don't fade on another. And at that time period as a child, I say, what does that mean? He said that when 2 white people are fighting, or white people in general are fighting, you do not get involved with that. You don't take one side or another with them. Because what they going to do, they going to link up. Even though they were fighting, they will link up and both of them will go against you. And have we not seen this? Have we not seen it? Their issue with Trump was a white problem. It wasn't a white and black problem. Black folks didn't care nothing about what Trump did with his loans. Black folks didn't care nothing about what he did with side chicks. Black folks didn't care about, that's his business. It's like, we don't care about that. We trying to do our own thing out here. Black folks, the only thing they were talking about with Trump was stimulus checks. That's it. Other than that, they weren't even mentioning Trump like that. But this is what happened when you stick your nose in white people's beefs. That's why if they just tearing each other apart, I'll watch it from a distance, but don't you see what he said? I don't care what he say about you. And don't you tell me about him. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. It's them statements. My name is Bennett. I'm not in it. My name is Paul. That's between y'all. I'm all them names. That's me. I don't care what y'all do. Just as long as you leave me alone and my community alone, y'all can do whatever the hell y'all want to each other. Keep me out of it. Black people, you see, and black people, oh God, black people, I love you. Because they want you out there so bad protesting, whatever, and black folks are like, I'm not got nothing to do with that. Leave me alone. I'm chilling over here. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Leave me alone. And that's been the best, because every time we go out in the street, they both link up against us. The Democrats say things about us and attack us. The Republicans say things about us and attack us. Every time we step front out there, nobody got our back. Immigrants will say things about us too. So see, since we were staying out the way, now they got to really deal with each other. And they turn against each other every day. I'm seeing more and more of them turn against each other. MAGA is literally infighting. Let them do it. Stay out of it. Stay out. See, black folk, you gonna learn. You gonna learn the hard way. You gonna learn. And Letitia, let's see what happens. I don't know. Maybe she can beat the case. I don't know. I can't speculate. But even going through a case, she's gonna spend a lot of money. A lot of people say to fight a Fed case is up to $1 million. That's what people say. So, stay out of white folk business. If you listen, the business we need to stay in is black folk business. There's plenty of business in the black community that we can be involved in. A lot of business. It's not that, well, she can't prosecute somebody white. That's not the issue. She was getting involved in political warfare, political prosecutions. She wasn't just doing a job. She ran on prosecuting Trump. She did. And you know good and well for a black woman to, number one, be in that kind of position, a black woman run off at the mouth like she run off at the mouth, you got to be just smart on how you move, man. It just... look, you got to be smart at least until they get to the point these people not running nothing anymore because their numbers are so small they can't run nothing no more, which they fear that day coming, and it is coming. But until that day gets here, you just got to move accordingly. If you want to work in this system. Now, you a person that want to be a part of this system and you want to do your own thing, hey, go ahead and do your own thing. Now, let's go ahead on and look at real quick. It's not going to take us too long. Let me get this up on the screen. Actually look at the actual charges, because, you know, the mainstream media, they don't like to do that. They don't like to show you paperwork. All right. So you got in the Eastern District Court, Eastern District of Virginia, the USA versus Letitia A. James. So they say the October 25 term, they say the grand charge that general allegations that at all times relevant to this indictment, Letitia James, a resident of Brooklyn, New York, and a borrower of a Fannie Mae backed mortgage loan for the property located at 3121 Perion Avenue, Norfolk, Virginia. They mentioned the OVM Financial. They say also known as Old Virginia Mortgage, Annie Mac. They talking about the basic lending company. They say Fannie Mae was fairly chartered, and they talking about the corporation, the First Savings Bank. So they said that on August 17th, 2020, during the pandemic, a sole borrower purchased 3-bedroom or 1-bath property located at the address below for approximately $137,000. She financed with a mortgage loan of approximately $109,000, backed by Fannie Mae. The loan was originated by OVM Financial under a signed second home rider, which required James, the sole borrower, to occupy and use the property as a secondary residence and prohibited use as a time-sharing or other shared ownership arrangement or agreement that requires her either to rent the property or give any person any control over the occupancy or the use of the property. Despite these representations, it said the Perron property was not occupied or used by James as a secondary residence and was instead used as a rental investment property, renting the property to a family of 3. And said the misrepresentation instead of James to obtain favorable loan terms not available for investment properties, including a note rate of 3%, avoiding a 0.815% higher comparable investment property rate of 3.815, resulting in $17,837 in rate savings over the life of the loan. And say a seller credit approximately $3,288, exceeding the seller credit for investment properties by approximately $1,096 for a total ill-gotten gains of approximately $18,933 over the life of the loan. That's a James Universal Property application for homeowners insurance indicated owner-occupied non-seasonal use, further misrepresenting the intent of the use of the property. James filed a Schedule E tax form under penalties of perjury, treating the Perron property as a rental real estate, reporting fair rental delays, 0 personal use days, thousands of dollars in rents received, and claiming deductions for expenses related to the property, further contradicting the second home classification. The loan was acquired by or assigned to First Savings Bank by March 2021, exposing it to risk associated with misrepresented loan. Well, this is the thing. Well, where the bank? This is a question I have. Don't your loan officer supposed to be checking all this stuff, going over this stuff with you before they even send it to underwriting? That's usually how it's supposed to go. They're supposed to thoroughly go through that, make sure you understand everything, ask you all the relevant questions they need to ask you before it even goes to underwriting. Okay, so how, I'm just trying to ask that question. And so the acts described herein occurred within the Eastern District of Virginia, so count one, bank fraud. It said allegations in paragraph 1 through 12 are realleged and incorporated herein from on about August 7, 2020 through at least January 2024 in the Eastern District of Virginia and elsewhere. Defendant Letitia A. James did knowingly execute and attempt to execute a scheme and artifice to defraud OVM Financial and First Savings Bank financial institutions and to obtain monies, funds, and credits owned by and under the custody and control of OVM Financial and First Savings Bank by means of false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises. The scheme involved falsely representing the per-owned property as a secondary residence to obtain favorable mortgage terms while using it as an investment property with no intent or actual personal occupancy or use by her. So they're alleging that she said when she got the loan, it's going to be my second house. So I am in New York, but it's going to be my second crib, right? That's what they allege. And they say instead of her being at her second residence, she rented it out. Okay, count two. False statements to a financial institution. Once again, I don't even see how this is a crime because your mortgage, your loan officer is supposed to be going through all these statements, double checking, triple checking all this mess. And if something's not right, they're supposed to tell you, hey, this isn't right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see how this is even a crime because the loan officer is supposed to be doing their job. It said allegations in paragraph 1 through 12 are realleged and incorporated herein. It's a from about July 28, it's a 2020 through at least August 31, 2020, Eastern District of Virginia and elsewhere. Defendant Letitia A. James did knowingly make and cause to be made false statements and reports for the purpose of influencing the action of OVM Financial, a Fannie Mae backed lender, upon an application for a loan. In that, James represented and affirmed in uniform residential loan applications and related documents that the per-owned property will be used as a secondary residence when in truth and fact, as James then knew, they say the property was intended and used as an investment property with no intended or actual personal occupancy or use by her. So they have a forfeiture notice pursuant to the Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure, give you all the law there. As they upon conviction of the offenses in counts 1 and 2, defendant Letitia James shall forfeit to the United States any property constituting or derived from proceeds obtained directly or indirectly as a result of such violation, including but not limited to a money judgment in the amount of $18,933. That's not a lot of money. If any property described above as a result of any act or omission or defendant cannot be located upon the exercise due diligence, has been transferred or sold to or deposited a third party, has been placed in jurisdiction of the court, has been essentially diminished in value, has been commingled with other property which cannot be divided without difficulty. United States shall be entitled to a forfeiture of substitute property pursuant to give you the law there and all of that. And so that is so basically you saying if she's convicted, you want this much money from her, which I'm pretty sure she got, right? And you want the property itself, basically. You want the house. And I guess what I don't even know what, you know what? Let's find out real quick, y'all. Hold on. Let's find out. Give me a second. Let's find out. Hey, Chad. New York Attorney General Letitia James was indicted on 2 charges. What is the possible jail sentence for those 2 charges?
So it looks like Letitia James has been indicted on charges including bank fraud and making false statements. Basically, the accusation is she misrepresented a property to get a better loan and was actually renting it out. If she's convicted, she could be looking at up to 60 years behind bars and about $2 million in fines. Of course, she's denying the whole thing and calling it politically motivated.
60 years? Well, what is the maximum penalty on each charge?
Right. So Each of those charges individually can carry a maximum penalty of up to 30 years in prison and about a $1 million fine. So combined, that's how they get to that possible 60-year total.
Well, what realistically, if they was to convict her on both counts, what realistically would she get?
Realistically, if she were convicted on both counts, it's pretty unlikely she'd actually get the full 60 years. These maximum penalties are kind of like the absolute worst case scenario and rarely handed out. For a first-time offender or someone in a high-profile position, the sentence might end up being much lower, maybe a few years or even probation, depending on circumstances, plea deals, and all that. So the actual outcome would probably be significantly less severe than the maximum.
Okay, I didn't even know those two charges had that much of a penalty. Okay, so they're trying to throw the book at her.
Yeah, exactly. When you see those maximum sentences, it definitely looks like they're trying to make a big statement or put serious pressure on her. In reality, it's more about setting a tough starting point. But yeah, it's definitely a situation where they're throwing the book at her on paper, even if the final outcome might be less harsh.
Okay, all right. Well, that's what it is then.
Yep, that's pretty much the situation in a nutshell. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out in the courts. And of course, we'll keep an eye on any updates as they come in.
All right. Well, y'all, I didn't know that, y'all. Let me get to my other screen. I didn't know the maximum penalty was 60 years. I did not know, y'all. Find something I knew every day. Man, Trump, he trying to get her jammed up. He trying to get her jammed up, y'all. Now, he said, why didn't Biden get her a pardon? There you go. Why Biden didn't pardon all those people that went after Trump? He made sure to pardon his family on the way out, though. He made sure of that, his son and anybody else. He took care of them. He said, look, he already knew what Trump was going to be on. So let me go ahead and pardon my son. Let me pardon all my family. So Trump ain't gonna mess us up. Man, Biden don't care, but Biden didn't care about none of y'all. He didn't care about none of y'all. Yeah, Tish, Tish got jammed up. Wow, I did not know that those charges carried that much of a penalty. God, I didn't know that. Now, Coco say Trump is petty, but you don't blame him? Yeah. Man. Yeah. I bet you now she thinking, man, I knew I should have did the special prosecutor. Why did I do this? Now, you bet your boy Alvin Bragg probably already looked up them charges, him and Fonnie Willis. Boy, they gonna be quiet. Oh boy, where's Fonnie? Where's Fonnie? I know she paying attention to this case. I know she is. Oh Lord, Fonnie, they gonna try to get you too, Fonnie. Oh no, not Fonnie Willis, not Sister Girl. Yeah, he pardoned Fauci too. Yeah, he sure did. If Fauci didn't do nothing wrong, what you pardoning for? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, them Democrats gonna leave that woman on her own. I didn't even know about the $1 million fine thing. I didn't even know about that either. So basically they gonna take the house if she's convicted. They gonna take the house. They want that $18,000, possible up to $1 million fine, and then, I don't think she's gonna get 60 years if she was convicted. I seriously doubt it. But here's the thing. They said that out of, I think they had 24 people they had on the grand jury. 12 of them agreed with the case. The rest of them didn't. And a lot of experienced prosecutors say that when it's that many, they don't feel like they can get a conviction. They normally don't want no more than 2 people to disagree. And if it's more than 2, then they say, I don't think I can get a conviction because I couldn't even convince these people. I mean, talking about unanimously convince them all. So she may be in an okay position, with that, but we'll see. Now the judge in the case is a Biden appointed judge, so we'll see how that work out. Because come on, everybody knows this case is Trump enacting revenge. Because when he put that post out on True Social, I'm like, come on. Like, I know the defense going to be like, this case is not even he said he fired the prosecutor that said there was no evidence in his case for a conviction. He put somebody there. Then he got online and said, just prosecute him. And then now we here. I mean, the defense going to go. I mean, Trump is giving a lot to the defense where they could tell a jury, like, no, this is extremely prejudicial. This is like, I think she may be in a decent position because all the moves Trump has made. So she may slide out of it. I don't know. She may. She may. I don't know. I don't know. So y'all, what y'all think? You think Letitia gonna go to court and is she gonna get off or is she gonna get convicted? What y'all think? Y'all let me know. You say she won't get 60, but Trump gonna see that she get at least 30. You say Comey gonna get it too. But here's the thing about Comey, what I would worry about. I'm just talking about me, just me personally, if I was in that position. This dude was the former director of the FBI. Let's just see if things just start coming out all of a sudden, start leaking to the press all of a sudden. I mean, directors of the FBI got a lot of secrets and a lot of access on a whole lot of people that they keep their mouth shut about. Now, since all hands are, on deck, who's to say that he won't just start leaking things that he knows? I'm just saying that's an interesting character to go after. The former FBI director? Yeah. You say no one is above the law. That's real talk. Trump is. Trump's above the law. Let's just call it what it is. Trump is above the law. Because, getting away with me or you had any charges Trump had, we would be in prison. Let's call it what it is. We would be in prison. When Trump was convicted in New York, he got to go home. Puffy wasn't even convicted of any of that kind of stuff, and Puffy had to go. Look, Puffy's in jail for literally watching his girl getting 304'd out by a male sex worker that she paid, that he didn't even pay, and he didn't get to go home. He was a perv, yes, but that's what he's sitting in jail for. He's not sitting in jail for beating her because he wasn't charged with no domestic, because federals don't charge you domestic violence cases. That's a state case. Now, if it was a state case, yeah, he guilty as charged. He's guilty. But anybody else who had 34 convictions, we wouldn't have went home. We wouldn't have been running no election. We wouldn't have been done anything. Puffy had been sitting in jail for over a year, waiting on his trial. And I'm just saying, so no, there's people that's above the law in this country, and it's proved he is. If you would have been up there, quote unquote, saying things to rile people up for January 6th, you'll be in jail. I'll be in jail. Trust me, all of us would have been in jail. So now he above the law in a lot of ways. Sorry, he is. He got it fixed where whatever he do as president, he can't get convicted of. And I'm gonna tell you what else he gonna do. On his way out, he gonna pardon himself, that nobody can charge him with anything. He gonna do that on the way out. So yeah, he above the law. Oh yeah, he is. Y'all didn't stop all that. Oh, nobody above the law, please. There's a lot of people in this country is above the law. You and I not above it, but a lot of white people are. I'm not talking about the poor whites. I'm talking about the rich ones. The only time they go to jail unless they cross somebody. You say he got good lawyers, but he lost the case. He lost the case in New York. How good is your lawyer? And you lost that case in New York. Your lawyer ain't that good. Now, I would say Puffy's lawyers was good, because to beat a RICO, and all the charges, and he got convicted on the Mann Act. His lawyers are pretty good. Puffy, like they say Puffy could be at the latest. Puffy can be home in 2028, maybe sooner. So yeah, Puffy has some good lawyers. He spent money though, because you shouldn't even see Puffy no more. But anyway, Trevor Lance say James, the second resident sponsor, was income property. Oh, okay, yeah. That's that. Oh Lord, y'all talking about Aisha Curry? Oh God, let me tell y'all. Let me tell you something about Aisha Curry here before I wrap up. I'm gonna give men some advice. In one instance, they'll tell you, "Oh, I want a man to take care of me and do that. I want to live the soft life," and you give it to them. But then they get to a point where they feel they gave up everything to maybe take care of the kids. You doing what you want to do, but they don't have nothing to do, or they gave up their dream to be a mom or a wife. So what you have to do is, even if you Steph Curry and got millions of dollars, give her some millions and let her open up a business. Let her open up something. Give her something to do. Give her something to do. That way she can't be looking at you like you doing all this and I'm just in the house. And it's more to life for me than just being after kids and just being give her something to do. You modern men, listen, y'all have convinced me. I am convinced I will not say certain things I used to say no more. Yes, I agree with y'all. It needs to be 50-50. You're 100% right. Yes. Now, if you have a baby, give her some time off. But yeah, it needs to be 50-50. Because when you do all that, doing it all yourself as a man, sometimes you can be resented later for doing that and get left. You thought you did everything right, and they was resenting you because you kept them in the house. So give her something to do. Let her have a business, a career, something. Don't have her just sitting in that house. Now, that's Aisha's problem. That's a lot of her problem. And some of her problems, she thinks she's better than her husband. A lot of that too. Things she's saying about, oh, I want to have a career. Oh, I want to do this. Who's to say she can't have a career now? That's what I'm trying. I would even ask. See, I couldn't interview her because I'll be asking Aisha, if you ask him right now, could you want a business career? You want to go to school? I don't think he'll say no. So why are you coming on podcasts talking? But Aisha likes attention too. And that's another thing. All women like attention, but sometimes attention for some of them is like a drug. And you could think, well, why you need attention? Men, you'll never understand that drug of attention. It's an interesting thing. It's like they want outside validation. Not all, but a lot of them want outside validation. They do. And you were thinking, I'm providing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's like, so let her live whatever dream she wants. Please. Please, let her do it. You say you're not procreating with a woman who doesn't want to stay at home to be the children's teacher. Well, that means you're going to have to marry you a woman that's traditional from the village. Because modern women, no matter what culture they come from, this country don't even respect that. This country don't. So you going to move to another country then, because it's just not going to work here. It don't matter. You can say, oh, well, it's black women. No, it's not black women. It's all of them. It's all. Some of them want to be home for a time, but I'm just telling you, y'all just need to work together and build that relationship up. That's it. I mean, do what you want. It's your life. But I've conceded. You won't hear me say certain things no more because they don't work for y'all in this modern era. So, but if you want a traditional woman from the village, go to the village and you have all that. But a lot of you don't want to live in the village because you want these amenities. So you want these amenities? Even African women in the cities, they don't want to be in the house all the time either. Go to Nairobi and Johannesburg and go holler at them. They'll tell you. They want careers. They want to, they want all that too. It's no different. So you're going to get you a woman from the village. You say if he cheats on her, she deserves it. No. Let me tell you why. If your relationship isn't working, then y'all just need to sit down, figure that thing out, and go your separate ways. You don't need to go cheat. Why you need to go lie and do all that stuff? No. Be an adult. If it's not working out, then y'all handle that. You don't have to go lie and sneak and do all that. No, you don't have to do all that. You're grown. Figure that thing out. I just think some things she said about him, I think it's disrespectful. Personally, it's very disrespectful. It's one thing she said it to him in the house, but on public podcast, that's different. But hey, you say she's only known one man sexually and that is the problem. Well, that's her problem. If she want to, look, let me tell you something. Okay, she leave that man. She leave that man. She leave him. No man gonna follow up to what he is. She go out there, she get ran through, and what we've seen the evidence of, they'll circle the block and she'll be going right back to his doorstep. And then there's so many women that look at her and like, you idiot. I wouldn't say nothing. I'll be just happy taking pictures with my kids. And wherever my man go, I'm there. I'm not saying nothing. But what happens is with situations like that, she's accustomed to the lifestyle, so it's normalized. So to you, it's not normal. You're struggling. But to her, it's normal. So she don't look at it like you look at it. But she need to chill out because, a man can only take so much. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for checking us out. I didn't mean to get talked about Aisha. Yeah, she do too much.